Well, a very pleasant good evening to you and welcome here to Twin Valley High School Stadium in Elverson, Pennsylvania. We are not all that used to playing games on Thursday nights, but here we are, Thursday night football between the Twin Valley Raiders here in Elverson as they play host to the Donegal Indians. Again, one of two Thursday night football games here in Pennsylvania this evening. I'm PJ Rydell, glad to be with you here with Bruce Badgley as here on the Flagship Network we get ready for football. It's the homecoming football game for these Twin Valley Raiders, so certainly expecting an exciting night for what's been an exciting season for the Raiders.
Yeah, it sure has. Number one team in the state, 6-0, and I tell you what, Coach Brett Myers really brought a winning attitude to this program, and I tell you what, it's really changed the attitude around here from somebody who covered Twin Valley, a few years ago until now. I tell you what, just a completely different atmosphere for a football game, PJ.
Yeah, and you can hear that atmosphere beginning to roar up for us as the teams make their way onto the field. We're getting a little bit closer here to the start, but while we just got done talking about the Twin Valley Raiders, what about the Donegal Indians coming into tonight? Kind of an opposite story of what we've seen from Twin Valley this year.
Yeah, they're 1-5. They're working on trying to get a lot of young players playing time, and injuries have really played a large part into, their record. They've had to play guys that weren't necessarily, primetime players. But, Coach Sadasante, done a great job, taking it one down at a time, one, possession at a time to get this team, quite honestly, ready to play in the future.
Yeah, one of the things you look at when you see their schedule, sure, you see the 1-5 record, but when you take a look at the finals in each week, other than last week, a really tough one, it really hasn't been all that much of a large margin between Donegal and their opponents this year. They've been in games. It'll be a tough task for them tonight, though, against a team like Twin Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. Twin Valley, their sights are set, beyond even the regular season. I mean, they'll never tell you that it's one game at a time, but this Raiders team is just ready to rock and roll. They are a prime-time player, as the number one ranking in the state of Pennsylvania tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, you don't come into any game being ranked as the number one team in the state by accident. Twin Valley, that is the position they find themselves coming into here as we get ready for Week 7 action. There are two games in Pennsylvania here this evening, or at least in our area. The one here being the undefeated Twin Valley Raiders hosting the Donegal Indians, and then later at 7 o'clock, it's also an undefeated team here in Section 4 in Lampeter-Strasburg as they play this evening as well against Northern Lebanon at 7. So although there is limited action tonight, again, Thursday night football, not something we get to do very often, but two very good games, and we get to start off here on a strong note here in Twin Valley.
Yes, we absolutely do, and we're getting ready for the coin toss, and while we do that, we will bring in one of our sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask, if you can, to please rise and remove your caps for the
where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
And well, with that, the national anthem has wrapped up, and we are just about ready for football here. As you saw with the booth cam when we got things started, we are right down here in the mix of it with the Donegal fans, the fans that have made the trip here. I saw just about an hour trip from Mount Joy out here to Elverson, PA, home of the Twin Valley Raiders. The team's making their way onto the field. The captain's making their way to center field. And as you mentioned it, Bruce, before we were on the air here this evening, not too often you see two teams that are green and white in their colors going against each other. That's what we have tonight. The Donegal Indians wearing the white jerseys with the green letters and the bright green helmets. The home team, the Twin Valley Raiders, they are in the dark green jerseys and the matte green. Not quite emerald green, but a darker green there as the home team. It is the homecoming football game here for the Twin Valley Raiders, so we certainly expect a nice crowd here, although likely a late arriving crowd. A 6 p.m. start on a Thursday, certainly not what most fans are used to at this point, but it does make it unique and makes for a fun one here tonight.
Fans? I mean, what about broadcasters?
Well, fortunately, we made it on time. If we didn't make it on time, then we'd be in some real trouble.
I think, quite honestly, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but anyway, we're glad I'm being here. Thanks for joining us here. And we're ready for some Thursday night football.
I can tell you when we wake up tomorrow and it's not the weekend yet, that'll catch us off guard a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we are just about underway. The team's taking their sides of the field. And we are just about ready for football. Again, week 7 here for both of these teams. The Donegal Indians coming in 1-5 overall, 0-3 in the Lancaster Lebanon Conference. And as for the Twin Valley Raiders, they are 6-0 overall. One of 2 teams that are undefeated in Section 4. They are 3-0 in league play. The Twin Valley Raiders, again in their dark green, all green uniforms, making their way out onto the field here. And they will be receiving the kickoff here to start things off tonight.
Yeah, definitely. This is the definition of al fresco, and we talk about it all the time. But thankfully, we have a beautiful evening for football. Thanks for joining us here.
And so with that, this game is underway. The kickoff drops at just about the 25, and taking it and running with it for Twin Valley, and making some good headway all the way up past the 50 to the 40, the 30, and we could have some early fireworks here. Twin Valley off the kickoff with a touchdown, taking it all the way.
Well, we got a flag, though. Flag back at the 25-yard line, unfortunately. Wow, that was quite the effort, and it looks like that's coming back there, PJ.
And it sure looks like it. I thought I saw a flag out of my peripheral, but didn't want to believe it. And I don't think the Raider Nation student section over there wants to believe it either. They already used all that powder, smoke. They threw something in the air as soon as he made his way in. A great run for Ben Grundy.
Yeah, Grundy is top flight, and he's definitely going to be somebody that the Raiders are going to be leaning on tonight. But illegal block on the Raiders, so they'll start, it looks like, about the 20-yard line?
It looks like they'll set it right up on the 20. And so the early fireworks are for naught here for Twin Valley. It still remains 0-0. The scoreboard's a little hard to read with the sun right now.
Yeah, a little washed out, but that'll change here pretty quickly.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 here. Quarterback Evan Myers ready to get his night started as he handles the snap and immediately hands it off to Grundy. And Grundy, a loss of a few on that one, so the exact opposite of what we just saw with him opening things up.
Yeah, I mean, good penetration by that Donegal defense. Gang tackled for a short gain, or a loss, actually.
Looks like a loss of 1. They're spotting it at the 19. 18-19 roughly, so a loss of 1. 19 on the scoreboard. And so 2nd and 10. And this time the handoff to the near side. Not a ton more progress. A short gain. As working his way up the near side was Evan Johnson. Evan Johnson, one of the premier rushing threats here for this Twin Valley team. Coming off a big performance last week where he rushed for 3 touchdowns and 176 yards.
Yeah, that I think you'll have to do a little radio for the clock one. It's a little washed out on fans' picture there.
Yeah, so 3rd and 6 from the 22, and this time Myers keeps it, chucks it to the near side, and working up that sideline is Grundy. Grundy loses it, and the recovery for Donegal. An early fumble recovery for Donegal, as coming up with that one was Angel Mendez, one of the premier playmakers for this young Donegal team, as we take a look at that one again.
Just a tremendous effort, stripping that ball, remaining in bounds, and making the recovery. Incredible.
An excellent play for Mendez, thwarting a first down and then some. But there is a flag on the play now, so we'll see how that impacts things. Otherwise, it looked like Grundy may have had another nice shot up the near sideline like he did off the kickoff.
Not entirely sure what the officials are talking about. Twin Valley's still back in their huddle, so maybe this is on the defense.
Yeah, Twin Valley seems convinced. Now
ineligible downfield. Okay.
And so it really won't end up mattering all that much. Donegal does, in fact, keep the ball after the fumble recovery by Angel Mendez.
Well, that was one heck of a play by Mendez. Not only tracking down the receiver, but then stripping it right along the sidelines, and then the wherewithal to recover the ball and stay in bounds.
Really just a high IQ play there. Well played. And again, another one of the young members of the Donegal team, just a sophomore. And so now Donegal gets to start with it. 1st and 10 from their 44. Firing it to the right side. That one is a ground ball picked up on the far side. Took it on the short hop. As in under center is Brady Reck as quarterback. Kind of been a bit of a carousel from a quarterback perspective, again, thanks to the young nature of this team here for Donegal. They've seen a lot of action from Chase Marshall, but there Brady Reck had the first throw. And it looks like it will be him again. So it's Brady Reck once again. 2nd and 10 now from the 44 after the incomplete pass to open things up, and he looks to take it himself and doesn't get much progress as he works it up to the 40, or back to the 40, I should say. And so it's a loss as Reck unable to find any space to work with.
Yeah, it looks like he actually pitched that out late, but still not much there.
And so it will be 3rd and 10, as you just mentioned. According to the scoreboard, Twin Valley's defense looking for a stop. Third and 10 from the 44. Rex stepping back. Fires back up the middle. Completion is good, but nowhere to really go with it. As coming down with that one was Angel Mendez. Mendez all over this one.
Yeah, good pass. Kind of threaded it there, but the defender right there to make the tackle.
So the ball is spotted at the 49. So they pick up a couple yards on that one.
So 4th down and 5. Not entirely sure they got the punt team in there, PJ.
It certainly looks like they're going to go for it, try to get those 5 yards. Kicking a bit of a question mark for this Donegal team at times, so they're going to go ahead and roll the dice. 4th and 5 from the 49 for Donegal. Their first opportunity with the ball here this evening. Rex steps back with it again, fires near side, and that one incomplete. Trying to get a hand on it there for the Raiders was Elijah Zimmerman, but that over his hands as well. So it'll be a turnover on downs for the Donegal offense. Twin Valley takes over at their own 49.
Yeah, as you said, I wasn't entirely sure as you were whether it was out of necessity or whether they truly just wanted to, surprise Twin Valley and going for it there on 4th down.
And so Twin Valley taking over at the 49. They look like they had the sparks flying early with a kickoff return, but nothing came of it as it was undone by a flag. This time the pass to the near side from Myers finds Evan Johnson as Johnson takes it down to the 45.
Yeah, that trips formation out there had the receivers blocking on the defensive backs, but good hustle there by that Donegal defense getting out on that one.
The Donegal defense not giving up much space after that initial kickoff return. Now it's 2nd and 5 from the 44. Just over 8 minutes to play in the first quarter here, still scoreless between the Donegal Indians and the Twin Valley Raiders. Myers looking for some space, escapes 2 tackles, still has some space rolling to his left. Looking for somebody downfield, opts to just take it himself, and he's got plenty of space to work with. Myers still rolling all the way down to the 30.
I tell you what, Evan Myers really steady in the pocket there. I mean, the defenders were all over him, has the presence of mind to get outside, nothing available, and then positive yardage up the field.
Yeah, not only that, but a first down, but first there is an injury for Donegal, as down is Brendan Yeagle, one of their seniors. You mentioned injuries being a problem for this team. It's another senior right now.
Well, we are going to go away for a moment, and we will be right back.
Surgical Hospitals is right here in Berks County. At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
And so after the injury, it's Logan Smith for the Donegal Indians that makes his way off the sideline, fortunately under his own power. So after that, it's 1st and 10 from the 29 here for Twin Valley after the fresh set of downs thanks to Myers. Myers stepping back, once again finding some space in the pocket. In and out of the hands there on the near side of the receiver, Patrick Shanahan.
Yeah, he was wide open, but again, Myers just doing a magician's job of getting away from that Donegal rush, which has been quite effective so far early on here, PJ.
Yeah, Donegal's been finding the holes in the O-line for Twin Valley, and they've been putting the pressure on Myers early. But Twin Valley fortunate that Myers has been as composed as he has been in the pocket. 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Twin Valley looking to break this scoreless affair. Myers hands it off to Johnson. Johnson finding some space on the left side. Another positive yardage play down to the 15-yard line. Now Twin Valley threatening.
That carry is good for a Twin Valley Raider.
Another handoff to Johnson. And he doesn't get quite as far on that one. They don't give him anywhere near as much space off the first down play. He does make a little bit of headway. Not much, though. So 2 more yards there. Now it's 2nd and 8 for Twin Valley.
Kind of a methodical drive here for the Raiders.
Myers steps back after the snap. Once again, the pressure on him, but he's able to roll to the right. Myers, plenty of space, decides to keep it himself. He could take it all the way. He dives. And is he in? He is not. They mark him down just short of the touchdown. He certainly hit the pylon, but was out before that.
Evan Myers, and I touch on it, he's just a magician. If one thing isn't there, he's going to find something else. That the receiver was covered, he definitely was going to take it himself, and he's always got that threat that he's going to throw the ball. We got a player down at the corner of the end zone there.
Yeah, this time it's DeAndre White, yet another senior member of this Donegal squad.
Starting to get that scoreboard into view. 6:47 remaining here in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us here. Bruce Padgley, my good friend PJ Rydell. Glad to be working with you again, my friend.
Yeah, glad to finally be back. It's been a minute. Good to get back in the swing of football.
Yes, it is for me. This week is actually 3 games. So with a Thursday night game, gives me an opportunity to do a Thursday night game, and then Friday I'll be doing a broadcast for Penn Live, and Saturday we'll be up in State College for that Penn State UCLA game.
Plenty of action here coming up this weekend. Unfortunately, it looks like pretty good weather for it after last week. Last week was the opposite of that. But again, after the run by Myers, now the Twin Valley Raiders knocking on the door. First down at the 1-yard line, as Myers was marked just shy of a potential rushing touchdown there to break this one open. Still scoreless, 0-0, 6:47 here left to go in the first quarter. Twin Valley looking to punch one through and jump on top first. The handoff goes to Johnson, and Johnson easily weaves his way through the line. Relatively uncontested as Johnson takes that one in to put Twin Valley up 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, talk about being able to drive a truck through it. Wow.
There's a nice little handoff there from Myers. Johnson punches it through, and that combination of the two Evans strikes again for Twin Valley. And now the kick pending, looking to make it 7-0.
Well, flag comes flying in. Laundry on the field, according to the
I like that,
public address announcer.
I like that phrasing. I could steal that.
I think a lot of people do, don't they?
So the kick, again, is good, but we'll wait to see what, in fact, that laundry on the field is about. The kick there made by Nate Schaefer, junior kicker. And Twin Valley offense making their way off the field. As the call is a personal foul against Donegal, and so it will not matter. Extra point's good, 7-0. Twin Valley on top of Donegal here with 6:44 to go in the first quarter.
And let's take a look at one of our sponsors of our broadcast. We will be right back.
Well, welcome back here again. Thanks to our sponsors that make doing this possible. And for Thursday Night Football, it's a early 7-0 lead for the Twin Valley Raiders after a 1-yard rush for Evan Johnson finishes a successful drive. Raiders on top, and Donegal looking to respond.
Yeah, look, Donegal's done a pretty good job with the defensive rush there.
The defenses look good.
And really, the strong point has just been Evan Myers and his ability to really find the soft spot in the defense and take advantage of it.
He's been able to take time is what he's been able to do really well, and that just allows guys to get open. And that's all that Twin Valley's needed. Well, the kickoff here is a bouncer, and goes out of bounds just in front of that Donegal sideline. Looks like just about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was an onside kick attempt that I think ended up going out of bounds, so not entirely sure where they'll spot it on this one, but 1st and 10.
Yeah, there was a couple Donegal players going after it. I don't think anybody touched it till it went out, though. And it looks like we're going to spot it here at about the 26, 27.
Yeah, 6:43. Remaining in quarter number one, we'll have that scoreboard or that clock a little visible here pretty soon on the picture.
The rush attempt there off the first play of the drive for Donegal doesn't get very far as Leland Bauman trying to take that one. Not much room to work with for the sophomore running back. So it's no gain on the rush. Now 2nd and 10 from the 26. Under 6:20 to play here in the first quarter now.
Boy, good crowd on hand for such an early start. I mean, the Twin Valley stands are just packed. And actually a good crowd here for Donegal, too.
Yeah, Donegal traveled well, making the 50-minute to an hour drive from Mount Joy. Sneaky little handoff there, but not much comes of it as Quinn Wamers tried to take that one, but once again, just not much give in that line for Twin Valley.
Just a great penetration and filling the hole well on that play. Boom. Wow.
Not much space to work with there. Ball still at the 27, and so it'll be 3rd and 10. Twin Valley preventing any movement here from the Donegal offense. Once again, Rec setting up. He's got a back to his right. 3rd and 10. Rec ranging to his right, rolls out, fires to the right side, finds his man, but immediately met by the defense there on that far side. Making the tackle, well, is number 5, Tristan Bailey for Twin Valley, and there's not much to work with over there for Donegal.
I like the play design, rolling the quarterback out to the side that he's going to throw the ball, buying some time and, giving him some space there.
And it sure looks like Donegal is going to go for it on 4th here again. This time, slightly better situation, 4th and 2. Last time it was 4th and 5. Yeah, it does seem that kicking is just not part of the plan here for Donegal.
Boy, and that's got to hurt. I mean, if, one entire element of, the game is really a handicap. I mean, special teams is so very important.
And so with this coming up, it'll be the first time out of the game called by Donegal.
So we will just keep it right here.
Yeah, again, a slightly better situation, although the scoreboard now is showing 4th and 1. It did say 4th and 2, so that's much more doable. When you were talking about 4th and 5, the first drive, that was much more of an indicator that perhaps there really isn't any kicking in the bag for Donegal.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. That's really the difficult part there is just not having that aspect of your game available.
And so it'll be interesting to see what Donegal ends up wanting to do here, as they attempted 2 rushes to start this drive, 2 rushes that amounted in exactly 0 yards. When they got the pass, though, they certainly made up some of that ground. So they're going for it on 4th here. 4th and 1 from the 36. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Donegal trying to get a fresh set of downs here and keep this drive alive. Handoff, Rec. That should be enough for the first down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Driving ahead, that was Quinn Whammers again.
Quinn in on a tackle number 7, Ryan Remenser. That carry is good for an Indian first down.
Good blocking at the point of attack. And just enough there for the first down.
So Donegal will certainly take it as they get themselves that fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 now. The ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Donegal just trying to get to the other side of the field here.
Yeah.
They had to give it up on their side of the field, and that led to the scoring drive for Twin Valley. Just trying to get some progress here on offense. 1st and 10 from the 38 for Donegal. The pass to the near side. He finds his man, working up the sideline and out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. A good catch and play there by Chase Marshall as he receives the pass from Brady Rec and picks up a few.
Yeah, one play at a time, one possession at a time. Donegal very much compartmentalizing, their game.
They haven't had a ton of opportunities here in this one particularly to showcase either particular game, whether it's the run or the pass, but the few times that they have tossed it through the air, it's been fairly effective. Can they keep that up here, though? 2nd and 5, ball spotted at the 44. As Donegal looks to try to keep marching. It's 7-0 Twin Valley. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The handoff there. And it's a bit of a flea flicker. The pass up ahead and intercepted. Picking it and taking it back for Twin Valley was number 33, the interception by Titus Akinrafon.
Well, I tell you what, Twin Valley not fooled. I think going to the bottom of the playbook like that, I think a good idea for Donegal, but just great defense there by Twin Valley.
It was Leland Bauman there making the throw. That's not the first time he's done that this season either, but that time just did not work, and Titus Akinnerfon picks up the interception. There is another flag on the play here. But they are offsetting flags.
Yeah, offsetting flags, so Twin Valley, that was one thing that Donegal really just had to guard against were turnovers tonight, that's for sure. But, hey, look, I guess just like a punt.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they did get it to the other side of the 50-yard line as that one is taken down to the 48s by Evan Myers as once again he keeps it and makes good progress. That moves the chains. And Twin Valley right back in business.
Evan Myers has carried the football today, but that was really the first designed run that looked like a designed quarterback draw.
Yeah,
and he got a first down of it.
Yeah, one where he wasn't escaping from the Donegal pressure. And so it's 1st and 10 from the 47 for Twin Valley as they lead 7-0. Myers fires to the near side, finds his man, and plenty of space to work with as we're working his way all the way up to the 40. Was Ben Grundy once again. He's a big element of this game thus far.
Yeah, and a good block on the outside. Look at that lineman all the way out to the edge of the field for that block. Sprung him. Wow. That's got to make Coach Brett Myers pleased to have his tackle all the way out, throwing a block on a quick bubble screen.
And so now that's back-to-back plays in which the Raiders have moved the chains, and so they once again get a 1st and 10, this time from the 40. Reck hands off, finds his man Johnson. Johnson working his way down to the, looks like he'll end up being down eventually at about the 32. Once again, a big carry from Johnson.
Boy, I tell you what, and a big lead block there by Joey Buckley.
2nd and 1. Just need to get a yard. Myers is going to get plenty of that as he takes it himself all the way down to just about the 16-yard line. And so Myers once again making it work with his legs. And it's another first down for Twin Valley. Relentless on this drive.
Yeah, relentless is a good word for it there, PJ.
So 1st and 10. Once again for Twin Valley. A bit more up-tempo here, you could say, in this drive as well. And they're just not giving much breathing room for Donegal. Under 2 minutes to play now. 7-0 Twin Valley on top. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Nice little pass and picked off in and out of the hands and into the hands of Donegal's Angel Mendez. Mendez comes up with that one. It went in and out of the hands of Patrick Shanahan. A little nonchalant throw there for Myers. That's not to say it wasn't a good one, but it just went in and out of the hands of Shanahan there, right to Mendez.
Yeah, Mendez goes, look what I've got.
Everything you can do as Donegal picks up an interception of their own. And Donegal will have it here. Deep in their own territory, though.
Well, look, I mean, turnabout is fair play. I mean, we had trading interceptions here. As we wind down quarter number 1, 1:47 remaining. I think the fans can finally see that on their screen.
Yeah, the sun finally down beyond the horizon just far enough. And so now Donegal looking to make some headway and get back into this one. They only trail 7-0. The pass to the far side, picked up off the turf. Nicely played to avoid an incompletion, as it's a gain of a handful. Once again by Mendez. Mendez fingerprints just all over this game early.
Yeah, but I like these quick throws by Donegal to the outside. Try and get the ball into the playmaker's hands with some space. Let him, kind of go do some mano-a-mano, one-on-one stuff there.
Yeah, that's been the difficult part, though, is finding that space. As Donegal trying to get their way here and wrap up the first quarter with some momentum. We're down to the final 60 seconds of the first. Still just 7-0 Twin Valley, though. So 2nd and 10 from the 16. And no room.
Oh, I think he fumbled the football.
And he picks it up into the end zone for Twin Valley. There's number 63, Grayson Miller. And it looks like that'll be a fumble recovery touchdown for Twin Valley.
Well, I'm not sure who stripped the ball loose. But Miller picks it up and into the end zone for the touchdown. Wow.
You want to talk about just one series of turn of events
Man.
after another in this one.
Not what I expected, like a turnover fest here in the first quarter.
Twin Valley interception followed by a Donegal interception, followed immediately by a fumble recovery touchdown for Twin Valley. And with the kick, it's 14-0 Twin Valley as we get close to winding down the first quarter.
Incredible. But, I mean, all in all there, Twin Valley, the beneficiary here of the turnovers. And in that particular case, just trying to protect the football. But, my gosh, just a great defensive rush there on the quarterback. And just great defensive skills in stripping that ball. And Johnny on the spot there, Miller, to take it into the end zone.
Yeah, just as much as we talked early in the game about the pressure that Donegal was putting, the Donegal defense was putting on Twin Valley, they do exactly the same there as Twin Valley puts that pressure on. They just get to capitalize with the score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 14-0 Twin Valley. The Raiders on top here. 49 seconds to play. As Nate Schaefer kicks this one off. They don't try the onside kick this time. They'll just get a nice kick up there and looking for the return and finding some space to work with all the way up to about the 32-yard line was Leland Bauman for Donegal.
Yeah, and he had some space here on the return. And a good job there. Good team tackling there by special teams of Twin Valley. And off we go here with 43 seconds remaining in quarter number 2, PJ.
Yeah,
quarter number 1.
Quarter number 1, yep. It has been a back and forth, not a particularly clean quarter, but Twin Valley on top 14-0. Donegal trying to get some momentum here.
Incognito here. Looks like we've got the why missing coaching staff coming in doing some scouting for next week, or maybe we'll be able to get Bob Wolfram on at halftime as a guest.
So there's a jump at the line there as Donegal tries to get some momentum going. Yeah, you mentioned Wyoming. That'll be a big matchup next week here between this Twin Valley team and Wyoming. Donegal, a rough go of it against them last week. And it was a false start, but it is against Donegal. You saw a handful of guys jump. It was going to be a matter of who jumped first, and it is Donegal that they pinned the blame on. And so Donegal in a tough spot here. 1st and 15 from the 28-yard line, it appears.
Yep, 43 seconds left here, but, only in the first quarter there.
And
another fumble.
It comes out. Who's going to get it? And Twin Valley comes away with it. Twin Valley picks that one up, and once again they have it in dangerous territory as Joey Buckley is the beneficiary on that one.
Yeah, looked like that was number 9 with the recovery. Yeah, Joey Buckley. And, oh, boy, he was so close to getting away from the touchdown.
And for Donegal, there was no intent to pass on that at all. They were just trying to get the ball on the ground and make up some progress there as they had fallen behind at a 1st and 15. And now they find themselves in a significantly worse position. Twin Valley looking to strike one more time before the end of the first quarter. Timeout called here, this time by Twin Valley.
All right, well, we got a timeout on the field. We are going to take a look at another one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
And so we are back just in time for Twin Valley looking to strike again. 14-0, the Raiders on top, and they are threatening here after the fumble recovery. That one aired out to the left side and an incompletion on the 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. A lot of back and forth here. Turnovers the story here in the first quarter. But ultimately it's Twin Valley the beneficiary, up 14-0.
Yeah, this is, but the Donegal defense, I'll tell you what, it hasn't really been kind of their issue. Unfortunately, a couple of turnovers forced on offense. It kind of got their backs to the wall.
Johnson takes it up the middle. Pyle still moving, and eventually he's taken down at what appears to be about the 5-yard line. And so Twin Valley marches on, but it is 3rd and 4, not a 3rd and goal, so even if they just get that first down as the clock winds down here for the end of the first quarter. And with that, the clock has wound down, and they do not get the play off. So we'll pause, and we'll flip sides here as we wrap up the first quarter, 14-0, the Twin Valley Raiders on top as we head to the second.
And we'll have an announcement from one of our sponsors here upcoming.
And on to the second quarter we go here in Elverson, Pennsylvania, between the Twin Valley Raiders and the Donegal Indians. It's a 14-0 lead for the home team, the Twin Valley Raiders, as they are the beneficiaries of a number of turnovers between both teams in that first quarter. Turnovers certainly the story towards the end, just back-to-back-to-back turnovers. But ultimately, it's Twin Valley on top. Here on Flagship Network, I'm PJ Rydell. Glad to be with Bruce Badgley for the action. Thursday night football. Not often we get to do this. And so starting the second quarter, it's 3rd and 4 from the 6-yard line for Twin Valley as they look to try to add on some more. And another whistle here, and it'll be a timeout for Donegal.
Wow, that's kind of tough. That's a tough timeout after you've just talked at the change of ends with the quarter, then they have to call a timeout there, to start your defensive play there. But, you obviously want to make sure that everybody out there is on the same page. This is an important stand here. You really don't want Twin Valley, getting up 3 scores here starting quarter number 2, that's for sure.
Yeah, and trying to take this second quarter to build momentum back in your favor and go into halftime with things going your way, even if you're not necessarily on top according to the scoreboard. Donegal is looking for any momentum here because there has not been much to speak of, even after they've had potential tide-turning plays like fumble recoveries and interceptions.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I'm really kind of surprised that we've had 4 total turnovers in this game in the first quarter.
Yeah, 2 for each team, but it's been Twin Valley to capitalize. So 3rd and 4 from the 6-yard line. We do it again here to open up the second quarter. Myers to the right side, rolling out, has some space to work with. Can he beat the defender? And he does. Evan Myers takes it himself, and now it's 20-0 with the extra point pending.
Big number 66 out in front there. Saunders leading the way. And in for the score.
He just snuck in there before the tackle by Angel Mendez came in just a moment too late. And once again, it will be Nate Schaefer looking to kick the extra point. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And with that, he is 3 for 3, and it's 21-0 Twin Valley, as Twin Valley once again capitalizes on some Donegal mistakes. And Evan Myers continues to get it done with his legs and with his arm, but mostly with his legs here at this point.
All right. Well, we're going to bring you in here to our broadcast booth here. Bruce Badgley, PJ Rydell, Thursday night action. I'll tell you what, kind of special so far, having an opportunity, really a statewide audience, to take a look at this Twin Valley Raiders team, who's number one in the state in 4A by Penn Live. What do you think so far, PJ?
Well, I mean, no surprises when you see Twin Valley doing what they're doing. They're taking advantage of the mistakes that Donegal is making. Donegal not quite as much in this one. You understand why Twin Valley is on top of the state the way that they are. But at the same point, you do have to give credit to this Donegal defense holding them the way they did, especially early in the first quarter. Because you know how prolific this offense can be for Twin Valley. They haven't scored less than 42 points in a game this year.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. And but on the flip side for Donegal, you know, they're a little bit hamstrung there with, you know, the turnovers, as well as really not having any kind of special teams game, I think, is kind of weighing heavy on their mind.
Yes, certainly a number of things that are making things more difficult for Donegal. They've even had a number of guys go down hurt even just in this one. So it has certainly been an uphill battle for Donegal. But again, the defense has showed up in several instances, but it's a matter of getting this offense in a groove here, and they've got an opportunity here as they take over at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you know, one down at a time, one possession at a time.
Again, a young Donegal team going up against an experienced team in Twin Valley.
Correct. And the Donegal, just the antithesis of that. I mean, playing a lot of young players for necessity and injury.
And so from the 20-yard line, Donegal looks to get things started, taking it and keeping it himself. And hanging on to it through the contact there was Leland Bauman.
Number 8, Bachman. In on attack on number 7, Ryan Rementer. 2-yard pickup, second down.
It's a 2-yard gain for Bauman.
Yeah, and it looks like he's come off the field. He's a little dinged up there.
Yeah, walking gingerly.
Not entirely sure who they're going to put in at quarterback here. Looks like that's number 18 getting ready in there, Rec.
Rec was in the majority of the first quarter. In that situation there was a quarterback option, so it's Rec back in as he was not in on that play. Again, it's kind of been a carousel in that position as well, among other things, here for Donegal this year.
Yeah, that was a direct snap situation, as you said.
So it's 2nd and 8. It was a pickup of 2. 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line. Rec turns, looks, fires downfield. He's got a man, but picked off. Oh, in and out of the hands. Almost an interception there for Twin Valley's Evan Johnson. Again, doing it on both sides of the ball, as the intended receiver was Angel Mendez, unsurprisingly.
Rec had time, just not a lot of opening down there. Had to get rid of it, and good defense there by Twin Valley.
Yeah, Mendez outnumbered there in midfield. Not much he could do about that. As much as he has been a real focal point of this offense for Donegal, he can only do so much. So it's 3rd and 8 from the 22 here for Donegal. They make their way up to the line. Twin Valley greets them. 3rd and 8 from the 22. Still Rec back there. He takes it, looking downfield. Tried to throw, can't get rid of it. Ball is out. Twin Valley landed on top of it initially, but I believe Donegal ended up recovering it.
Oh, my. Boy, that was quite the opportunity there. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, my. Just blasted in there as he's trying to throw it. And, wow, that was recovered there. Couldn't get the number of the player who recovered it for Donegal, but Johnny on the spot, one of the linemen.
Well, it was Owen Winters, number 71 there for Donegal, that did end up coming up with the ball. And so, although Donegal keeps possession, it's now 4th and 8. And it does look like they're going to go for a punt option here, as they were bringing in Evan Donahue, or Dunna, back there. So another interesting spot here. 4th and long for this Donegal offense, and they are deep in their own zone too.
Yeah, it's one where Twin Valley has really unleashed the defense here the last couple series to really get all over Rec. I mean, he's had one fumble that led to a touchdown, had one here, thankfully recovered by one of his linemen, but, well, that Twin Valley defensive line has just really started to wreak havoc on that Donegal offense.
So Donegal is going to attempt to kick here, or at least that's what it looks like, as senior Evan Dunna is back there. He handles it, and he keeps it, and is unable to get the kickoff. He's tried to give himself some space, and he was unable to come up with it. Landing on top of it was Donegal, number 50, Jaden Gichuki. But it'll be a turnover on downs in a tough spot for the Donegal defense. They've done their job, but they have not been getting much help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like a 7-yard line.
Yeah, it does look like they'll spot it at the 7-yard line down there for Twin Valley as they are once again knocking on the door. Trying to extend this lead, 21-0. Is Twin Valley on top here?
Yeah, this is where that experience and that talent is really starting to pay dividends for the Raiders.
Myers back, quick handoff to Grundy. Grundy, plenty of space to work with on the right side, and he is into the end zone practically uncontested. A 7-yard rushing touchdown for Grundy, and that puts Twin Valley on top 27-0 with the extra point pending.
Yeah, not sure how they're going to, say whether it was a touch pass or whether it was a run, but we definitely had a touchdown.
And so Nate Schaefer once again on for the extra point. His kick is up, and his kick is good.
Kick is good.
And it is now 28-0. Twin Valley on top of Donegal here with just over 10 minutes to play in the first half. And this is beginning to feel a lot more like what we were expecting after Donegal held Twin Valley relatively quiet in the first quarter. It's 2 quick strikes early for Twin Valley in the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to get with one of our sponsors here. And we'll be right back.
Top Surgical Hospitals is right here in Berks County. At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
And so after that quick strike for Twin Valley made it 28-0. We are back here in the second quarter. 10 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the first half. And Twin Valley looking to kick things off as Donegal tries to get back in this one. Schaefer's kick is handled by Mendez. Mendez taking off with it to the 25, trying to find some space and doesn't get much further. A flag flies in all the contact after the play as Mendez takes it to just about the 25, a little bit short.
And number 27, Demarion Terry.
Yeah, interested to see. I didn't see the signal there. Looks like it was illegal block in the back.
Illegal block on the Indians.
And so the progress that Mendez made on that play, some of that will be coming back. The ball was originally spotted at the 23, and so instead they'll walk it all the way back to the 13-yard line. So once again, a difficult spot for Donegal deep in their own territory as they try to start this drive. And again, just get back into this one as they trail 28-0.
Yeah, one series at a time. Really need to, like I said, compartmentalize what you're doing out there to one play at a time right now for Donegal.
It's a wreck back there with it once again. He hands it off.
Oh.
And it's a loss of yards there. Nowhere to go as the Twin Valley defense steamrolled into the line there, trying to take it, but not having any luck was Matthew Lopez.
Yeah, they're just, right now that Twin Valley defensive line is moving the line of scrimmage at least 3 to 4 yards into the Donegal backfield.
So it will be a 2nd and 13. It was a loss of 3 yards on the rush attempts. And Donegal just looking to try to find a way to get something going in their direction. Snap. Rec hands off, and once again, it's a loss of yards as they again hand it off to Lopez, but again, no room to work with for the senior back.
Yeah, it is really becoming an epidemic for Donegal. This defensive line for Twin Valley just not giving an inch, basically.
And they seem to have a pretty good idea that the rush is coming, especially considering that's kind of what Donegal has leaned into here lately.
Well, this is where you got to have some play design, maybe a little trickeration. That's why, when I talked about that, that halfback option play, I didn't mind that. This is where when you're getting, overwhelmed like that, you've got to try and, like I said, a little trickeration here. But a mano-a-mano up the middle just isn't going to work.
Yeah, once again, it goes nowhere on the 3rd and 16 from the 7-yard line.
In on the tackle, number 9, Joey Buckley, and number 60, Bobble. I'm on a roll.
And so another tough spot deep in their own zone. The last punt attempt did not go well for Donegal. They try another shot at it here as it's the 4th and 16 and deep in the end zone with the punt. That one is going to bounce out of bounds at just about the 40-yard line. There was a flag on the play.
Yeah. But all things considered, if they can somehow get the ball out to the 40-yard line, that's a huge win for Donegal.
Yeah, again, just back to the idea of just getting the ball moving in the right direction, no matter what it takes. The foot, the legs, the arm, whatever they got to do.
Still haven't seen a signal.
Yeah, officials still discussing this one as they're surrounded by the Donegal team. I didn't notice if somebody made contact with Donna back there on the punt. So Donegal gets called for an illegal substitution. Is that all, though?
But
it is declined.
That's quite a bit of sportsmanship there by Coach Myers. But declining the penalty and just taking the ball. That is quite a bit of sportsmanship there.
There's something to be said for reading the room. And so it's 28-0 Twin Valley here. The ball spotted at the 40-yard line. Twin Valley takes over. Not quite as threatening, but they're still on the right side of the 50. I'll tell you what, a good defensive sequence here for Donegal would do dividends.
It sure would.
Twin Valley taking over with it at the 40-yard line. Myers rolls to his right, works his way up the middle. He's got plenty of space to work with, and then some. Myers working up the near side. He's got 2 guys in front of him, 3 to beat. He gets past them, nearly to the end zone. He's brought down at about the 2-yard line. What a run by Myers.
Well, and I told him this to his face. I told him he's Mr. RPO. I mean, the guy is incredible. When he gets out, he has the football acumen to really read exactly what he needs to do based on how the defense is lined up and are approaching the play. And that's a perfect example.
And so they did mark it down at the 1-yard line. Myers once again robbed of a rushing touchdown by just 1 yard. As Twin Valley looks to punch another one in here, already leading 28-0. The handoff up the middle. And the touchdown is good, scored by Chase Riley. The sophomore back takes it in, makes it 34-0, pending the extra point.
Made it look easy. I really like how Twin Valley uses number 9 in the offense there, that H-back, Joey Buckley. I mean, he's really just done an incredible job leading the back through the hole tonight.
And once again, another kick up and good for Nate Schaefer. And that makes it 35-0.
Well, we're just going to keep it right here as we wind down here. Wow, still 7:24 remaining in the first half, 35-0. It'll be a quick second half, PJ.
Yeah, and again, this is what we talked about early on. The Twin Valley offense, there hasn't been a game where they've scored less than 40, somewhere in the 40s, several times, much more than that. And they are really coming into their own here, even after a slow start.
Yeah, I mean, this is, quite honestly, this is what we expected. I mean, it took a little while for Twin Valley, I think, to get going. Maybe it was the early 6 o'clock start. They really didn't get rolling till 7.
Yeah, had to remember what time the game was starting.
Exactly. And, but they're rolling.
It is just about 7 o'clock at this point, speaking of which.
Yeah.
Means that that game between Lampeter Strasburg and Northern Lebanon should be starting here soon as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lampeter Strasburg, one of the only other team in Section 4 that's undefeated as well, along with Twin Valley.
I'll tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. This round robin over the next few weeks of Twin Valley, Wyomissing, and LS, these are all state-ranked teams in the same section of the Lancaster-Lebanon League, going to battle it out. That's going to be must-see TV.
And so working for the return and finding plenty of space, trying to hurdle. A nice play there by Quinn Weimers. Yeah, nicely played, crafty move there. Working back and forth, trying to make some headway, and any headway is good headway for Donegal.
You know, the one thing about Donegal, they haven't given up. These guys are still out there playing hard.
And again, that goes back to this being such a young roster. A lot of these guys, they're just trying to set themselves up for the years to come, too. Prove yourself now in situations like this against a really experienced team like Twin Valley. You're setting yourself up well for the next 2-3 years, depending on how much longer you've got.
Yeah.
So first and 10 from the 25 for the Donegal offense. They try to cut into this lead for Twin Valley. Pass to the near side. In and out of the hands, just a bit too far in front. Once again, Weimers there on the near side. He looks a little shaken up after the play. Looks like he's all right.
But I mentioned, I mean, this is one whale of a conference that's got such 3 highly ranked teams in Pennsylvania in 4A of Twin Valley, Wyomissing, and Lampeter Strasburg. I tell you, it's going to be fun to watch here in the month of October.
Yeah, certainly a lot of good teams, good competitions to watch. As we're a bit over midway, or around midway through the season, at least as far as the regular season is concerned. Again, Twin Valley 6-0, Donegal 1-5 at this point. As we play Week 7 action here, that one once again in and out of the hands of a receiver. That time it was Lopez, as he had an opportunity to get a hand on it, but unable to bring it in.
Yeah, Donegal having to go to the passing game, and that's really when I think, you know, this Twin Valley defense is just, I mean, it's just Katie bar the door. They're heading to the quarterback on every snap.
Yeah, not giving him much time back there to make a call. It's Chase Marshall back there throwing. Although back into the game now as well is Brady Reck. And he has done much of the throwing here in the first half. So 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Donegal offense. It's a Reck back there with it. He spins, looking for some room, and boy, he just immediately was chased down by 3 defenders right through the line by Twin Valley.
I mean, he turned around, that defensive end was in there, and he just like flinged it. Wow, he didn't have much time.
Yeah, no options there for Reck as he is just chased. Twin Valley breaking through the line. And so it's 4th and 10 from the 25-yard line. And
I think they're going to kick again.
Try to punt it again. Second time went a little bit better than the first. And now a timeout called by Twin Valley. Plenty of emotion on the Donegal sideline here at this point as they trail 35-0 with just over 7 minutes to play here in the first half.
That is as politically correct as I think you could call that.
It's probably best we don't have mic'd up segments here.
Yeah.
Understandably so, though, but like you said, they care. There's still passion
They care,
there,
exactly
for sure,
right.
and that's what you want to see. The coaching staff, as much as the players know, this is a young roster with plenty of years left to develop. It'll be interesting to see how these guys do, continue to build in the coming years.
Well, I know Coach Sadasante. I mean, he's a Donegal guy. He got the job because he was a Donegal guy. And, it just doesn't happen overnight. But it was funny. I was talking to some of the coaching staff, the Donegal coaching staff, not trying to pump them up. But, I mean, I talked about, I do a Whippeal podcast. And over the 5 years I've been doing this Whippeal podcast, the success stories out there that we've been able to highlight during that podcast, one of them being Elwood City, who had the longest losing streak in the Whippeal of like 30-plus games, who last year made the playoffs, and this year is undefeated. So it can be done.
But like you said, not overnight.
Not overnight. That right.
That pass aired out down the far side. And
really good defense there.
Yeah, very good defense, but shaken up on the play after making the play. It looks like making the play was Quinn Weimers again. He's been all over the place for Donegal. And he went up to make the play, but he is down and shaken up now. Tough landing. He caught some air on that one.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and, these fields are really hard to land on. I mean, it's very hard. Personally, I just don't know how the guys are doing it.
Yeah, so a tough play there, and so an injury timeout here as Donegal looks to take care of things, not lose anybody else. Certainly a tough spot for them already.
All right, with an injury timeout, we are going to run one of our commercials here, and we will be right back.
And so after the pass attempt was no good, broken up there by Quinn Weimers. A nice defensive play. He's shaken up, but making his way off the field under his own power. So that is at least good news there, a silver lining for Donegal, as the Donegal defense faces a 2nd and 10 from their own 31 here. Twin Valley already up 35-0 and looking to continue adding on. From the 31-yard line, 2nd and 10. The snap. Myers hands it, fakes the handoff to Johnson, tried to get the pass over top to Grundy, and it's an incompletion right there. Once again, good defense.
It's the second time that play that Myers kind of threw it, a little bit high. Now look, it's obviously a function of the fact that, Evan isn't necessarily the tallest guy out there, That's why they always roll him out so much. So basically he's got, an open pocket.
It's now on 3rd and 10 from the 31. Making up some space on the near side is Johnson as he takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That is more than enough to move the chains for Twin Valley.
Yeah, look at that space on the outside there, and good speed, lowers his head. Great run.
And so now it's a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 10. And working his way in is Johnson once again, finding some space. That was Myers, a quarterback keeper. And once again, Evan Myers has another touchdown to make it 41-0.
Look at him just weave his way through that defense. And when the going got tough, he got going, putting his shoulder down and getting into the end zone. Evan Myers, great run there.
Yeah, just a great combination of savviness, being able to weave his way through, but also the grit. Plenty of contact down there, but that doesn't deter him from putting Twin Valley up 41-0. And with the kick, it's now 42-0. Twin Valley convincingly on top in this one. Still 6.5 to go in the first half.
Well, I don't think anybody thought that there would be anything other than this kind of result. Twin Valley, the number one team in 4A in Pennsylvania for a reason. Donegal, a team, the record doesn't necessarily show, how well they played this year, but they have had some tough luck with injuries. Obviously, they've got some issues related to, special teams, but still, just an impressive performance by Twin Valley in all aspects.
Yeah, Twin Valley just really doing everything right from early on in the game, simply capitalizing on mistakes. I mean, the run game has been working, the game through the air, maybe not as dialed in as they would like it to be, but still getting the job done and mixing it up just enough to keep the Donegal defense off balance. And they've ridden that to the tune of a 42-0 lead. Last week, the Raiders defeated Northern Lebanon by a final of 42-0. The current score here, there's still 6.5 to play in just the first half.
Wow. Little pooch kick.
And it certainly leads to an adventure at about the 30-yard line. All that spin on it made it tough to handle, but Donegal maintains possession of it. It looks like coming up with that one for Donegal was Jonathan Cook.
So 6:28 until halftime. Let's see what Donegal does. Looks like that's number 18, number 18, Rec, back in there at quarterback.
They'll start with it from the 31-yard line. I initially thought he was down to 30. They give him the 31. So 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line here. Again, just over 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Rec immediately fires to the near side. He finds Mendez. Mendez looking for some space. Escapes a few tackles, but doesn't get very far after that, as Mendez gets it for a gain of a handful. That moves the ball up as they spot it down at the 35.
Good play design, but really Twin Valley had the numbers on the outside.
Yeah, once they got the numbers on Mendez, not much that he could do. So he picks up 4 yards, and that advances the ball to the 34 or 35-yard line. Again, just Donegal trying to get the ball moving in the right direction. Whether it's been turnovers or just that prolific defense for Twin Valley, they've unfortunately done a lot of going backwards. They want to keep things moving forward here. 2nd and 6 from the 35-yard line. Rec has a little more time to work with, but still not much as he tries to air that one out to the midfield, and he does not have much to work with. Rec absorbs a lot of contact on that one. Might be a bit shaken up as he makes his way off the field. So now it's going to be 3rd and 7 for Donegal as they lose a yard on that one.
Looks like they might be rotating in and out of quarterback.
It did seem like they started to do that in the second quarter as it's Chase Marshall now in there. Again, but Rec is back out there now, though. It looked like he was shaken up.
I saw him on the other. Normally, in between plays, they don't go off the field to play, but in that case he did, and now he's back in there.
And so Marshall, instead of quarterback, he makes his way down the line on the far side, and it will be Rec. He's got a back with him to his left. He rolls out around him, finds some space on the far side, and just barely misses his man. It was Marshall, as we were just talking about earlier. Rec trying to find him on that far sideline, but it is incomplete and out of bounds. And so 4th down once again. That wraps up this drive here for Donegal, as I would imagine they will be kicking again, although I'm not so confident about that this time.
Yeah, I'm not confident about that either. They did have one decent punt attempt, but the others have been an adventure to say the least.
I'd say 1 of 3 were viable punts. It sure looks like they're going to try to go for it here.
Yeah, 4th and about 6.
I mean, Rec is coming back out there. Marshall's still out there. I don't see who had been kicking Dunna. I haven't seen him out there.
Flag on the play.
And now a flag on the play.
Delay of game.
Yeah, delay of game, kind of figured that was coming. And so that
Yeah, it took a long time for them to decide on that. And it doesn't look like they've got any timeouts left in this half. So
yeah, so it is a penalty. It moves them back. So from the 30-yard line, it's 4th and 12. They're going to go for it. No punt here. Just under 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. Reck has it, escaping pressure, but not for long, as the sack for Twin Valley's Ryan Rementer.
I mean, he just blitzed right up the gut and was untouched.
Yeah, it feels like untouched and uncontested has been a word we've been using a decent amount here when it comes to Twin Valley breaking through one line or the other. In this case, the defensive line breaking through Donegal's O-line. And so they take over 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Twin Valley again knocking on the door here, under 5.5 to play. Twin Valley already on top, 42-0. Myers to the right side. Grundy, flag flies in the midfield. Grundy still working for some space on the outside, and he is eventually down just past about the 5-yard line, it appears. We'll take a look at where what the flag was. But another good run by Grundy.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you know, a lot of the play design and the play selection is there to kind of, you know, accentuate, you know, Evan Myers. I mean, it's no secret that he's the coach's son. But that, you know, quick out, doesn't have to, you know, detail with a rush and big guys coming in his face. Most of the time when a pass play is called, it's either a quick pass to the outside or they're rolling him to the left and right in an RPO, you know, scenario. And that's just to basically free him of any impediments with vision.
Although that one does come back as a 10-yard penalty on the Raiders, so now it's a 1st and 20 from the 28-yard line. The snap, Myers this time works to his left side, flings it across the middle, finds his man, and out of bounds at just about the 8-yard line. Another penalty flag flies there on the sideline, but the catch made there by Grundy again.
Tough running there by Grundy.
He's been good, especially on the sidelines, right from the very start of this game.
Wow, block in the back.
So back-to-back flags on Twin Valley. They've otherwise been rather disciplined from a penalty perspective tonight, but back-to-back flags on back-to-back plays there. For Twin Valley, that backs them up a little bit further. Now 1st and 30 from the 38. Never mind, spot foul. So we'll ignore the scoreboard for the moment.
Clock running.
Just about the 23-yard line. Twin Valley starting with it. 1st and 14. Johnson working up the middle. Doesn't have much room to work with. Donegal defense doing a good job enveloping him there up the middle. Not giving him any space to work with.
You know, just little things that you look at. Watching this replay here, you know, this is a 42-0 game. And quarterback Evan Myers going through his progressions, even after he hands the ball off, you know, to fake that pass to the outside there. That's good stuff.
Yeah, neither team out of this one mentally anyway, at least the way they're playing. 2nd and 13 from the 21. Myers lets it fly up the middle. And a great pass to Grundy, perfectly placed, and Grundy hauls it in for the touchdown. That makes it 48-0.
And again, he's being sprinted out to his right. He is reading his receiver, breaks through. There's nobody in the back there. Touchdown. Wow. Textbook.
Nicely played there. Again, for the most part, it's been on the ground for Twin Valley here this evening. But that one through the air makes it 48-0. The extra point pending here once again. It is no longer Schaefer. It's now Josiah Horst taking the kicks.
I was going to say, kicker late running out there.
Horst's kick is...
Got it through there somehow.
Barely through. A low line drive just barely over that bottom crossbar. Makes it 49-0. Twin Valley strikes again, this time through the air as Evan Myers finds Grundy.
All I can say is, I'm just trying to point out these things to the fans just what high quality players, how disciplined these guys are, that down so much in a particular game, everybody still, it's just ingrained in them on what they're out there to do, and that was just, like I said, just textbook. For Evan Myers, this is a guy who's a 4-year starter, coach's son, and I think that drive just typified what kind of a football player he is.
Yeah, and again, it's the two different perspectives these teams are coming for. Twin Valley, they're looking ahead, whether they'll tell you they are or not. Looking ahead to the playoffs, looking ahead to wanting to really compete at the state level, knowing that they kind of have a bullseye on their back as the top team in the state coming into this week's action. It really matters to do everything the right way all the way down to the final whistle. As the kickoff received by Donegal and taken all the way up to the 30-yard line.
And that's just a sign of good coaching, too. Those are things that good coaches just demand of their players, that don't look at the scoreboard. You run that play, this is how it's got to be done. And, just totally impressed with forget about what the score is on the scoreboard. Evan Myers and his execution tonight has been incredible.
Yeah, it's no surprise that in their game last week, Evan Myers surpassed the 5,000 career passing yard mark. He was 11 for 20 with 135 passing yards and 17 rushes for 142 rushing yards. If that didn't tell you coming into this game to expect some more of that tonight, well, you've already seen it here in just the first half.
Yeah, 49-0. That really says a lot, but not all. Just having witnessed to exactly how these guys are playing the games is pretty special.
Under 3.5 to play here in the first half, 49-0 Twin Valley. The handoff there for Donegal. Works for a handful of yards.
I think he fumbled the football.
It does look like it may have come out. It was Lopez with the carry. And after the scuffle, not much reaction from Twin Valley. Looks like it remains in Donegal's hands. And it's spotted at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, it did come loose. But Donegal retains possession, and
clock keeps on moving. We're under 3 minutes now here in the first half. 3rd and 8 from the 32-yard line. The handoff there, trying to look for some space to go with it. Bobbing and weaving, but just nowhere to go as he kept reaching for the outside. Didn't have much space to work with.
Flag on the play. Ball was carried by number 40, Tompkins.
Despite the score and whatever like that, we have had quite a few penalties in this first half by, quite honestly, both teams. So
there was a stretch where there wasn't a ton, but they definitely seem to be mounting a bit more here now. So another flag there. The ball ends up getting spotted at the 34-yard line.
3rd and 6.
Well, scratch that. They'll move it up a little bit. It was at the 34. They move it now up to the 38. So 3rd and 3. 3rd and 2 from the 38. 49-0. Twin Valley on top. Donegal looking to try to get something going in their favor here with this drive. Another handoff. Working to the near side and not finding anywhere to turn. Kept looking to find that outside corner to take the turn, but just nowhere to do it for Lopez.
Watch Evan Johnson just put a licking on it. just comes firing up. Beautiful textbook. Head on the outside.
Now Lopez taking a beating here in this one. A lot of contact as he's tried to get some headway, but none to speak of there. Change the units here for Donegal. It looks like they will try to punt it again here as we're approaching the 90-second mark here for the first half.
Number 32, Grundy, back to receive the kick.
From the 35-yard line, Donegal looking to punt. And that one's a good one.
Wow.
Plenty of air under it, all the way down to the 30. Twin Valley takes it. It's Grundy who receives the punt, and he brings it all the way back to about the 50-yard line. And that's a highlight for Donegal with the way this one has gone. That's that punt and being able to stop him at the 50-yard line.
And, I mean, that was, as he said, that was major league. That was above the lights here. Good kick, good coverage by Donegal.
And so that'll leave Twin Valley to start things on this drive from the 50-yard line. That's about as far back as they've had to start a drive all night.
Yeah. Yeah, they have been the beneficiary of good field position for sure. Those turnovers helped.
Myers, plenty of space to work with. Finally, the pressure coming as he steps up in the pocket. Plenty of space to work with. And he works his way up to just about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, keeping his head upfield as he's moving forward. Keeps the defenders on their heels. And a hurry up.
They do spot it at the 42, winding down to about 30 seconds here. Myers fakes the handoff, escapes the pressure, slings it up the far side. Is just an incompletion as it falls short. But boy, some pressure there from Donegal's number 50, Jaden Kachuti.
Yeah, he burst through there.
He was right there.
Yeah. It actually was one of the few plays where it was designed for Evan to stay in the pocket, and he forced them out. So I don't know if that was a good thing. He's actually as good or better outside the pocket as in.
But just to see Donegal putting some pressure on Myers for the first time really since early in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Again, things to hang your hat on for Donegal. Myers lets it fly up the middle. Intended for Grundy. Even if he had it, he had three guys kind of right on him there. So not much room to work with. And so that's fourth down now for Twin Valley. And I'm trying to think the last time Twin Valley had a fourth down in this one, if they have.
And I don't think they've punted, have they?
Not that I can think of.
And they're not going to yet.
So they'll go for it on fourth down. 4th and 2, certainly manageable, especially for the way they've played tonight.
Oh, my
and
God.
They're going to get it and then some. As working his way up through the contact is none other than Evan Johnson. He takes it to move the chains.
Watch the line of scrimmage move. I mean, the offensive lineman pushed the defensive lineman at least 5 yards, 6 yards down the field. Wow.
Even though Johnson and Myers and them will get plenty of credit, as that one is aired out down the far side. Did he catch that? It is an incompletion, but oh, man, what an almost play that was, as there's a flag on the play now. Looks like it was Matthew Knight trying to come down with that one on the far side. It was Matthew Knight trying to come down with that. He's unable to corral it. Now 11 seconds. There is a flag on the play, so we'll...
Yeah, it was coming back anyway. Looks like there was a hold. No? I didn't see the signal, but they pulled up the flag. It had to have only been a 5-yard penalty.
Myers looking for some space, steps up in the pocket, lets it fly, this time down the left side. Nobody home there as that one is overthrown. He was trying to hit Johnson on the near side, but not there to work with. And so with 4 seconds, one more play.
One more heave.
First half.
Yeah, one more heave to the end zone.
Once again from the 40-yard line, Twin Valley looking for, as you put it, a heave, an exclamation point here. They've already put up, but instead they'll just take a knee. Again, perhaps some reading of the room. So 49-0, Twin Valley convincingly on top of this one. We are done just the first half. We still have halftime and the second half to play. 49-0 Twin Valley on top of Donegal here for Thursday night baseball on Flagship Network.
Help us in welcoming back Madeline Bateman, escorted by her parents, Chris
Evan Johnson. And
Start again.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Thursday evening football as Donegal and Twin Valley faced off here in Elverson, Pennsylvania. It's a 49-0 lead for the Twin Valley Raiders on top of Donegal after a big first half. The clock winding down from the halftime break here on PJ Rydell with Bruce Badgley. Happy to be bringing you the action, and in that first half of action, Twin Valley on top convincingly. A lot of great play from Chris Myers, Ben Grundy, and of course Evan Johnson. Johnson in the midst of all of that, we didn't get to mention it in the first half, but we'll mention it now. Evan Johnson surpassed the 3,000 career rushing yards mark for his career, so again, congratulations to Evan Johnson, and I believe we heard him announce his homecoming king as well, so big night for Evan Johnson. How about that?
It was a big night, and the big news here, PJ, is the fact that they suspended the game, or they've forfeited the game. Donegal has forfeited the game here at halftime, down 49-0. So we're not going to see any further action. We were talking to Mike Drago, a little bit on, how it affects the stats, of these games. I mean, is it going to be 1-0? Is it going to be 49-0? I don't know. And I don't think a lot of people really care at this particular point, other than Twin Valley is going to, come away with the victory. It's 49-0 here. And I'll tell you what, just an impressive performance, PJ, in every aspect of the game by Twin Valley, right?
Yeah, just another day at the office for Twin Valley, the way they've played this year. Again, they haven't scored less than 40 in a game. They put up 49 in just the first half here tonight. So certainly a deserved win, although an unfortunate way to win. You never want to win by forfeit. You certainly never want to lose by forfeit. So definitely a rough night for Donegal tonight as well. But we talked about it. There were some highlights there for them as well. Again, playing all the way through, even into the halftime break. So it's an unfortunate way to end things tonight for Thursday night football. But it is a 49-0 win for Twin Valley as they continue their torrid pace, and I would have to think that they remain pretty well cemented on top of the overall rankings in the state after this.
Yeah, they sure do. So for my buddy PJ Rydell, Bruce Badgley, so long from Twin Valley, where the Raiders have beaten Donegal. Thanks a lot, and see you next week.